talking, Google takes us live. It is the Kent Beck Scrum. We have Sam, we have Stella, we have Nick. Let's start with me because I'm talking this time. What have I been doing? I've just been reviewing actually pull requests, great pull requests from Nick and from Ben, and yeah, getting those sort of sorted out. I'll just merge one in. Local support. That's all good fun. That's all very positive. We had the marketing meeting before, and I've now got a new form for people to apply for a premium sponsorship, which I'm quite pleased with. And other things, yeah, I'm just sort of trying to focus on website one this week. That's it. I'm not really blocked on anything, just trying to get lots of things done. AV community meeting later on today, although I don't know how many folks will have there. We don't really have a strong agenda. Yeah, I've got a lot of backlog of DevOps sort of admin tasks for the Met Plus project that I will work through if no one else shows up for that. But that's me. Nick, you were the first in. Anything blocking you at the moment? How are things going?
Things are going good. I started to look into how to add the automatic Twitter feeds, but yeah, I've never set up environment variables with Rails before, so I'm just going through that motion, and we'll see.
All right. Yeah, good.
I might need some help with it.
yeah, totally. We're pairing this week, are we? Or when are we?
Yeah, tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow. Excellent. Yeah, be very happy to look at things with you. Then, if there's anything individually that you're stuck on now, I can look at the previous Scrum. We had Bill and Brent, and we had a look at some RSpec issues they were getting stuck on. So yeah, if there's a particular thing, we can try and unblock you now at the end. But yeah, otherwise your pull requests. Thanks so much for sorting out that. You know, what's it called? Come on, brain. The Travis thing for that's kind of like the install script for local support.
Oh yeah, no problem.
Which I've merged in, and then yeah, your new method on the volunteer op, that's looking good, and I just made some tweaks, and I'll merge that in after the Scrum.
Cool.
So that's
I'm very unfamiliar with RSpecs. I've used Minitest before, but not RSpecs. So yeah, kind of new territory.
Yeah, good stuff to learn. Excellent. Yeah, it's funny. I've drunk the Kool-Aid now, and it feels like the RSpec way of doing it is normal. And then when I move to other places now, I'm like, you know, they have the other asserting stuff. I get kind of confused. But yeah, it's actually what I really like is in the Node world, they like with Mocha, you can kind of just like choose which style you want, whereas RSpec's kind of like said, well, no, this is the way to do it now going forward. It's a bit too heavy-handed. I quite like the flexibility of Node. But anyway, so it sounds like no direct blocks on you there. Looking forward to our pairing session tomorrow. Let's check in with Stella. How are things going with you, Stella? Stella, you're muted at the moment if you're trying to say hello. Maybe we've lost. Hey, Stella.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you fine now. Yes, go ahead. How are things going with you?
Things are fine, though I've been away for a while.
Sure thing, no problem.
Yeah, we were to check what we should use for automating emails.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, you were working on the event newsletter feature there, which we've got. The things that I would note there is in the background, Nicola has he's upgraded us to like Ruby 2.4.2 and also a new version of Rails, not yet Rails 5, but like a new version of Rails 4. So this probably needs to be brought. This branch probably needs to be brought up to date. It has got some conflicts there.
Okay, I'll pull the changes.
Yeah, so that's something to look at. The other thing is, so I think this is great that you've got this all working. The framework what we've got here based on the test is all about as if we were going to send the emails ourselves, and I guess we could start by doing that. But the worry with that, like, unlike the emails that we send out for reset password or you know, like account sign up or what have you, this is kind of like would be a repeating email going out, and it kind of needs to have, but people need the ability to unsubscribe, and so we either implement that ourselves or we need to you know, work with as we were looking at this the Gibbon gem, which this Gibbon gem, this is the one that works with MailChimp, isn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I guess are you yeah, one next step is just to update to the latest development code. Are you clear about what would be the next step for, you know, how to work with Gibbon?
Automation.
I mean, just like at the moment, if we look in here, you know, there's a point here of like this, when we have a, you know, event newsletter mailer and this monthly newsletter, we can now, what this ends up allowing us to do, as I think you know, is that we can run this thing. So this, which we just do through the test here at the moment, which is fine, that would then be something that was, you know, could be run from a rake task, but it would go through our existing emailing stuff, and it would just be, I mean, at the moment, the email, as we were looking at here, like if we ran it, the email body is empty. So it needs to, I mean, at the simple level, it needs to include some, like, what the current events are, and we need to check that the email body is correct. But rather than sending it through our own email system, we probably want to send it through MailChimp. So in that sense, we would ultimately, instead of testing that, I mean, it might still be the case that we might have a mailer, but I think we would need to look at, so for example, if we look at the Gibbon gem, they're going to have instructions on how to send to MailChimp. So for example, let's have a look here, we've got there, logging examples. So we would need to do something like from here, which is like, you know, get the, I don't know if we would get the subscribers from the list. Probably we don't actually. What we would need to do is to create a campaign. Let's have a look, control campaign. Yeah, we would need to, I think specifically do this. We would need to create a new campaign and, you know, make sure that we were targeting a particular list and these various, like the process of doing this would be the way to send out a campaign on MailChimp. So, I mean, I think we might start with, before even trying to write the tests for it, you might just sort of try, because I think you created your own instance on MailChimp, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, and so you might try doing some of these things from the command line.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? Just to see that, to check if you can, like, make a mailing list with like me and Sigu and yourself on it, and then see if you can get some simple email to be sent there, and then ultimately, and this is more complex, the kind of testing that we would want to do in here is that we would need to stub out Gibbon, and so you know, using a mock of some kind, and then find the test here. So this would be something like so instead of when the event newsletter task runs, we would need I mean, it could still be that. I don't know if it would necessarily go through, where's it gone? If it would even go through, like, because these kind of things that are extending application mailer, right? This is to send, you know, email through the Rails mail system, etc. We would, you know, if we wanted to stub this, we could just like kind of say like expect monthly newsletter to expect event newsletter mailer instance to receive monthly newsletter. Anyway, it gets kind of complicated. What I would say is, keep going back to the scrums and hopefully the weekly meeting on Thursday, and we can move towards making this work with the MailChimp API. But there's a lot of different moving parts. As I say, one, updating this. So I think the two things probably to do first are, one, update this to the latest code to make sure it's on Ruby 2.4.2, and then two, experiment with creating a campaign and sending emails from the as it describes here.
It's okay.
Yeah. We can check in again. All right, great. Any other questions or thoughts?
No, for now I'll just experiment with Gibbon.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, this is specifically the section here that's going to be useful to us. Great. Now, so just going back to Nick, you were saying you're like, doing things with Rails environment variables and so on. Is there anything specifically we could give you help on at all, Nick, or are you happy sort of moving along as you are?
Yeah, I'm happy moving along as I am. If I don't figure it out today, we'll definitely figure it out tomorrow with you. So.
All right, great stuff. Well, that's fantastic. That's our Scrum then. Is there anything else that we need to sort out or coordinate?
I'm good.
Yeah, I'm just going to post. We've got here is Stella. Here's the link on campaigns. All right. Yeah. I guess since we're all on local support, just in the background there, I think so we were also trying to move towards an upgrade to Rails 5, but I think we've backed off from that. I think that Nicola is going to close that out, and we're maybe going to try and upgrade some other gems individually before we try and take that on.
Okay.
So, yeah. Cool. All right. Great stuff. Well, look forward definitely seeing you tomorrow. Which camera am I on? This one. Definitely look forward to seeing you tomorrow, Nick and Stella. Yeah, do join the scrums, and I'll give you all the help and support I can.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Bye for now. Take care.